stay a while and listen.
Welcome back
to the Agony of Positivity podcast.
Or the AOP podcast, whatever.
No, I'm doing Agony of Positivity podcast.
It is what you got to search by. So, yes. I am Ross.
And I am Saul.
We are together again, like it's the first time, without the power of the internet. Yes. So there will not be a video where you can look at web pages with me, basically. It was all that really accomplished, but it was something. So, how's your week been?
Been alright.
Anything notable?
I will say this. I have noticed that music that I hated as a teenager, I like now.
What do you mean by music that you hated?
So
I need an example of a band. Like Creed? Like, Creed's like... we're way older than that, right? I don't know what came out when I was a teenager. I only listened to certain music.
I like Creed, even though people said Creed was basically a poor imitation of Pearl Jam.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, I like Creed. But no.
So you like Pearl Jam?
Okay. I like Pearl Jam, too.
It'd be awesome if you're like, Pearl Jam's like a too high quality Creed, and I like the lower end quality. So like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, like boy bands. For some reason, I guess it's so chilled now. I don't know, because I'm not as angry as I once was. Maybe I was. Well, what did you listen to?
Oh, it was terrible. It was
like death metal or
no? It was alternative music, like Nickelback and
I wish people could see my face right now.
Like Creed, those type of bands, you know.
All right. Good night, everybody.
I mean, like I said, it wasn't good music. Like now, I can't really get into it.
So I've had an idea for a while, but just never got around to it.
But you used to listen to ska, though, right?
What do you mean used to?
Okay, see, ska is, I don't know how you listen to ska.
I don't know how you don't. This is going to be fun, because what my idea was is one of us, because I feel like I might listen to more music than you overall.
I would say,
like as far as variety.
Yeah.
Where I basically give you a band that I listen to regularly. Okay. 3 of their songs off YouTube. Yeah. And then throughout the course of the week, you listen to those 3 songs.
Okay.
And just write or, notate something like your thoughts on those 3 individual songs. Now, with the music I listen to, that's about 6 minutes of your time. It's about 2 minutes a song. Yeah. And
I'm going to hate it.
Oh, it is very likely based on the punk and the ska. And there's normal music that I listen to. Yeah. But there's a variety of it where we could then briefly discuss that. Okay. And I think it might be entertaining.
Next week's show, we can do that.
All right. Yeah. Now, we obviously can't play the songs on the podcast, but we can include the links into, like whatever the YouTube link is or wherever the song is on Spotify, whatever. And then everybody can experience it and be like, huh. And then just knowing that some of the stuff, how much you're going to hate it, is a delight.
Yeah.
Now, we can do it the same way.
Who knows, though? Who knows? Maybe I'll like it now. Because back in the day, I hated ska.
I think some of it, if you listen to the lyrics, because I'm big on the lyrics to songs occasionally. Mm-hmm. Now, some of the stuff I'm going to send you first, because I've already thought about it, throws that out the window and it will be hilarious.
Okay, all right.
All right. Yeah, I had thought about that because I was like, our music taste is very different.
Yes. Like, I don't know. It's just like Celine Dion. I was listening to that. I mean, it's just random stuff. I was like, I kind of like this. It's a little toe tappers. Maybe I think I just go for that now. Just toe tappers. Just.
Yeah. Or you've fallen prey to the radio music industry. Now you're just their puppet dancing.
No, probably not, because like I said, I've never been much of a music person, so it's not going to work on me.
Right. That is like, because my music taste is almost identical. To
how it was when you was a teenager.
Pretty much. Like the history of me liking music was Beach Boys and Jan and Dean, because my real dad listened to those.
Yeah, so did mine. Yeah.
Which trying to listen to the Beach Boys now, a lot of their songs are not good. Like, just I'm going to say it. Now they have some.
But if you're a surfer, maybe you have that lifestyle.
I don't
California
know.
dreaming. I mean,
no, I mean they definitely have really good songs.
Yeah, but
some of them are just like this is the phrase "nothing burger" comes to mind, and then you get let's see, went from that. I was never really into radio music because if we were in the car, my grandpa kind of dictated what we listened to.
Yeah.
But I got into They Might Be Giants when they did the music videos on Tiny Toons.
Okay.
For Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Okay.
And the Particle Man song. So, and then I was like, I got to get this album. And I got the Flood album for They Might Be Giants.
Okay.
Still to this day, one of my favorite albums. Okay. The Ghostbusters 2 theme song, when they'd play that on the radio, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then I really listened to some Metallica. Okay. Like I like Justice for All. I think I've said on the show 1,000 times how much I love Justice for All.
See, Metallica, I like Metallica's music, but I like their fast stuff. I don't like. I like their slow stuff.
There's a mix because like Hero of the Day, I really like that song. Like they have some stuff that I really like.
I like that song with the Dragon Ball Z music videos with Gohan fighting Cell. That's great.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's awesome.
We'll look into that later. Yes. But yeah, so then I went from that, and then like I found the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Like my brother just had a tape laying around, and I listened to it. Yeah, and I was like, "This is awesome." Like I'm into this, and then like Operation Ivy, stuff like that.
Did you like Blues Traveler?
No, could not care for them.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't.
Like not that I didn't, I could not. I tried. Two of my neighbors, they listened to a lot of Blues Traveler and were super into them.
Yeah.
No. I was like, this isn't good. They were into, like, Hanson.
Yeah.
Just basically everything they were into, like Bare Naked Ladies. Like, they were into the exact music that, again, there's songs that I like, but in general, it was like, no. So I got into, like, the punk rock, ska punk or whatever, like Less Than Jake. Like all the ska third wave volume 1, 2, and 3, like all the mixes were like hunting down the actual albums for some of those songs. So that was what I was always into.
I remember like Maroon 5 back in the day when we were like teenagers and everything.
Were they around that long?
I think they have been.
I have no idea. I don't really have a concept of time.
Well, the thing I'm trying to make here is that it seems like they've lasted so long. They're actually now like
an old band.
An old band where they're like they're the Aerosmith of this generation, maybe.
I don't know. Less Than Jake, I was listening to them in like 97 or 98, and they're still around.
That's true. Yeah.
So are they rank right up there with your Aerosmith. I mean, granted, all their songs are about leaving town, and now they're probably pushing 45, but...
That's what I'm saying. So we get to be... You're still singing songs that you sang when you were like 20 years old, and you're like 50 now.
I still remember one of my friends, he had made a comment about Offspring. Because, like, I like some Offspring, but at the time he was like, yeah, nothing like a 25-year-old singing about high school. And now it's like, nothing like a 40-year-old singing about high school.
It's true. It's true.
All right. Well, I'm glad derailed us, but...
I'm glad we went down that journey of this bad music.
Well, it'll set us up a little segment to try and see how it goes. Yeah. Which I think will be real entertaining.
So your week been all right?
I haven't done much. I did get that Darksburg game we talked a little bit about. I played it some. And that's been really... That's a sad story. We'll get to that. Like, how that whole day went, because that was Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
And I think it's something about being older and playing video games is something that I think other people will...
well, since we're going down the video game route, let's go with video games, then.
Here we go. Uh-oh. We got... So, in the studio, we'll call it the studio.
Yeah.
I build up a massive amount of static.
Get over here! Time's up. Let's do this.
So I build up a massive amount of static lately. And we use a Stream Deck for the bumpers. when I go to touch it, it shocks it and it reboots it. So you might have to hit the bumper button next segment. But yeah, so for Darksburg. Yeah. So Wednesday rolled around, which is when it went into early access. I think it's $17.99 initially, but it'll be $19.99. Which I kind of figured for an early access game that doesn't have a subscription model, or it doesn't look like it has like a shop where you're going to buy anything, but who knows? Like that could all change.
Give them time.
Well, right. Well, I hope if they do, they'll go with the Battle Pass method. I actually want to talk about that a little bit too.
Okay.
But so like that whole day, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. Like first game in a while where I've been like, because like I got Kakarot, the Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it, but it wasn't the same as this one. Like this, like because I just found it was like this looks exactly like what I want, as opposed to something that would be fun.
Yeah.
Finally get home. I purchase it with my Fable refund because that game is still broken and stupid, and it makes me mad. And download it while I'm making some food, taking care of the dogs, getting them outside, and then just one thing after another. I played it for like 44 minutes on the day that it released. When I was like all day, I was thinking about like, oh, I can't wait to get home and try this game out because I think it'll be fun.
Yeah,
and just didn't have time. And like I even tried like because I was watching Dynamite at the same time since we talk about that every week.
Yeah,
and it was just really hard to get any time in for it, and it let me down because I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
But do you ever run into that with games where you want to play but you don't have the time?
No, actually, I run into the problem is I want to play, but when I start playing it, I was like, I don't know if I really want to play this.
I have that happen too, where you're looking at your games and you're like, what do I want to play?
Well, yeah, when you want to play something,
I have nothing to play, but you have like 500 games in your. I think I only have like 30 games in my Steam library, but some of those are like test servers for the game. So, but it's still like, I want to play something, but I just don't know.
And I typically, when I'm in that mood, I just go to Hearthstone because Hearthstone, like Battlegrounds, is such a great game. Just if you want to check out, watch TV,
right? And just do something while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I do want to play Battlegrounds on one of the other servers, so I can just do dumb stuff, like just try to stay at rank 1 tavern and see how I can do. Because I've seen someone do a shutter walk at rank 1 and do the Murloc. I think you can get the Murloc that makes them grow, and he just kept selling it back and doubling. He only had one Murloc, but it was massive. Like he didn't make it very far. Like he just got obliterated.
Sure.
Anyway, so to Darksburg.
Yeah.
So download the game. The one thing I will say, criticism-wise, is there is not really a walkthrough or anything that I experience. Well, I take that back. They do kind of like a walkthrough for you. But as far as like some of the in-game stuff, maybe I skipped it. Like you start in like a box, and you can go to the shop guy. We'll call him Bob. Bob, the shopkeeper instead of the bartender.
Yeah.
And you can, like, during your run, you gain gold and different currencies for it. So at the start of each run, you can buy, like, they have, like, a tune that basically gives you, like, a buff of some kind. You can buy, like, healing salve, like, healing items, that kind of stuff. There's different stuff that you can buy to make your run a little bit easier. There's a currency that looks like a peppermint, and I'm not sure what you have to do to get the peppermint currency.
Okay.
Like, I have no idea. I don't know if it's killing bosses or whatever. Yeah. It probably told me somewhere, and I just wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Or I forgot because it was so long in between playthroughs. But either way, so to create a game where you're playing as the AI, you go to create game, and then you got to check it to where, like, basically who can join your game, whether it's a public game or a private game or whatever. And then that way you can set it up to where only your friends can join or only invite can join. And then you're just playing with 3 AI people. So there's like a quick play option that just throws you into one of the random games that are going. But if you just want to play on your own and like learn what the map is, because that was my concern, is knowing how the map goes. It's like running a dungeon in Warcraft.
Yeah.
If you've never ran it before and you jump in there with people and there's like 5 or 6 exploitive shortcuts that you're supposed to know about and you don't,
Yeah.
you're going to get kicked from the group.
Gotcha.
So I didn't want to make any other video game nerds angry at me for not knowing what was going on a brand new game. The first couple days of it being out.
Sure.
But
so, like, if this is say you and me wanted to play.
Yeah, it'd be me, you, and we can do it with like 2 AI people.
Okay, gotcha.
Which would be so the AI is a pain, but it allows you to play it.
Yeah.
It's like handicapping yourself in a way.
Yeah.
There's certain points where. So one of the levels, your goal is to get to the church.
Okay.
And so each of the co-op levels, you're trying to get to a point, and there's something you got to do along the way. Like you got to build a giant death wheel out of hay bales, or you got to help board up the church because you accidentally blew it up with a cannon.
Okay.
Like you shoot a cannon to try to get through a gate, and you actually put a hole through the church's door that makes it compromised.
Yeah.
And you got to go around and get like nails and boards and stuff to give it to them to fix it before they'll let you into the church to finish the level.
Gotcha.
Well, in a perfect world, you'd have 1 or 2 people go get the boards and the nails, and someone would stay by and guard the church door because all the zombies are coming to, it has a health bar. So you would have people. Well, the AI just follows you wherever you go. So the church is just left undefended and is just getting mauled by a horde of zombies.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, I don't know if there's a way to, like Heroes of the Storm, for example, Blizzard's MOBA style game. You can do like an Alt-Tab or an Alt-Click on people and give them commands to do stuff. I don't know if there's something like this, and I just missed it in the tutorial.
Gotcha.
So there might be a way if you're solo, or you just got to be real fast and a lot better than I am at it at this point.
Now, so the other question I have in this game now.
Yeah.
You've been playing a little bit of it, and your character has leveled up, I'm assuming, right?
Not yet. You got to get to level 5 to unlock a perk.
Okay.
And I have only gotten them all to level 2.
Okay, well, so the question I'm asking is, like, so if I join in, say I buy this game tonight, and you and me play a game,
right?
Will your character be at level 2?
Yeah, I think it's whatever your character is, like that. It just stays that way, and then
gotcha,
you would be leveling your characters up at the same time to unlock perks and so you'd have like your own gold.
Yeah.
Like so, the gold you earn in one run. You just build a balance up.
So it's like Diablo then.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of that way. So you're basically like just trying to get your character more powerful.
Okay.
And then they have, there's the different modes. There's the PvP mode. Now, I would assume that they will eventually, because at the moment, you're basically just grinding out your characters and trying to get the money and stuff so that you're as strong as possible.
Yeah.
I imagine they will eventually, once they get, because this seems like what would be, if this is truly early access or a beta or whatever it is, it seems like that would be, this is the base game. And then they need to build on top of it. So I would think there would be more like in-game style content at a certain point or harder. Because you have like normal, hard, S-tier difficulty. So obviously you're going to get better stuff out of that or more money or whatever.
Gotcha.
But they also have like a last stand mode where you got to go through 20 waves of zombies and stuff. And that's not too bad with the AI. It could be better for sure because one of them, there's something you have to defend.
Now, how many... So the other question I have, how many characters can you have saved? So, like, the character you have right now, can you start another character with me if you and me play tonight?
You just have the 4 characters. Like, that's all there... Like, there's 4 characters. When you play them, they gain experience as you play.
And it saves that.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you're basically... Like, as it is right now, there's 4 characters. There's 2, like, question mark slots, I think, somewhere I saw, where there's probably going to be additional characters over time.
Yeah.
And that would be a way to extend the game, is just adding in new stuff.
Gotcha.
But you basically just have, like, your 4 characters. You pick one of them. And when you're playing that character, any experience or anything you're gaining goes to that character. Like, the money, I think, is across all your characters.
Oh, okay.
So you could play the nun character as much as you want, but then if you wanted to start playing Soup Spoon Guy, then you would have a bunch of money, so you could buy perks at the beginning of the level and try to make it a little bit easier on him.
Okay.
Because he has his ultimate ability when you get it is he puts down, I like to imagine it's just a big pot of soup that heals you.
Okay.
But there's an item called a filter, where you instantly recharge your ultimate. So with him, like when you get to the end of some of the levels, now this is based on playing with the AI. I have not played with real people yet, so it might be a totally different experience.
Yeah.
But you can put that down, and everybody can stand in that little AoE area. You'll start healing up. Well, some of them it gets pretty crazy. So it'd be, with him, the ability to just instantly refresh that and use it again, like back to back, would be pretty strong. Yeah. Now you got to survive the whole level without taking so much damage that you needed like a bandage or a healing pack or something. But at a glance,
so how much is it to buy?
it's $17.99 right now, I think.
Okay,
plus tax because the government should do want her cut. They have two types of movement where it's the traditional like Diablo or MOBA style movement where you can like left click and that'll take you to wherever on the map, and then you got your QWER for your abilities. They also have WASD movement where more like Warcraft style movement.
Okay,
gotcha. My brain did not understand how the attack abilities worked with that because I'm so used to QWE from like Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends or whatever.
Gotcha.
I can't not want to do it that way with this type of view. Like it's just, that's what my brain tells me to do. Like I played more of that than Diablo. So, but all the characters get your Q or your like left ability, I guess it would be, is like a movement ability of some kind, like a leap or something, because you can't pass through mobs. Like they actually take up space, so you can get locked in, but your movement ability will usually get you through that. Then you have like your attack ability, and then like a more character special ability, like the wolf guy has a shield because they have like people who throw basically harpoons at you. So you can put the shield up. There's no cooldown on it. You can just hold it and you block stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's obviously your tank type character.
Now I heard that what makes this game a little bit different than most games like this is that there's a dodge ability, I guess, where you can like dodge the attacks, or am I thinking about a different game?
No, I mean you kind of can't, like with your movement ability.
Yeah.
Because some of the attacks that the bad guys are doing, they give you like that indicator, I guess, like the big red area where the attack's going to be. Yeah. So you can use stuff to dodge out of it.
Gotcha.
I don't know that there's anything like a miss or anything. Like they're not going to miss you. Like if you're standing in like the big red square.
Yeah.
And the timer is up and he does his attack, it's going to hit you. But you can dodge out of the way. Like, you can use the movement ability. Yeah. So it's basically like Warcraft with that. If you're fighting a raid boss and there's a big circle on the ground, you can walk out of it or use an ability if you need to.
Or soak it up.
Yeah, or you just face tank it and be like, I'll just eat this and see what happens. Yes. If you die, one of the other characters can revive you. Okay. So that's similar to like the Left 4 Dead kind of stuff, I guess, or first-person shootery type games, from my understanding. But yeah, each character, like there's the chick with the chipmunk. She is your range character, and you can do range attacks. Everybody else is melee, but it's one of those you'll either kind of be into it or you're not going to like it. Would be my guess. Like you would know straight away, to where you could do a refund if you wanted. Like, because you got like that 2-hour timer on the refund.
Gotcha.
This game, you would know pretty quick whether it's something you would play or not, or just hate.
Gotcha.
Let me see. But yeah, so thus far, the little bit that I've been able to play, I enjoy it. I don't think it's something where I'm going to play 5,000 hours of this game. But it is one of those, I really just want to get into this style of game and progress a character.
Gotcha.
And, like the games are about 15 to 20 minutes to like get through the level, it seems like. So kind of like battle, obviously more attention required than Battlegrounds in some ways. But you can get in, play a game real quick, and then be on your way. So, and if you're doing the AI, you can just, if you can't finish it, you can just quit game, and it doesn't really matter. You're not going to get anything that you worked for.
I may check it out and buy it.
It's
and then try to play with you, because you're a very hard man to play games with nowadays. You're all grown up.
I apparently need to go back to a terrible schedule where I'm awake in the middle of the night and have free time somehow. But yeah, so I played that, and I played a lot of Battlegrounds again. Well, not a lot, but I tried to play Battlegrounds, and they moved the Floating Watcher to Tier 4.
Okay, yeah.
Not what I thought they were. I saw the tweet about nerfing demons or whatever, or nerf 2 demons. I did not notice that it was singular nerf that they put in the tweet, so they meant that there was one. I was playing this morning, like super early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really change anything. You know what still happens?
What?
Soul juggler noise. Whatever that noise is, all over the place.
But if you get a person that has all murlocs that are poison, you can't beat them.
Depends, because if you get to where you have the soul juggler, but you have the void lord that spawns the 3 1/1s, you're going to fire off for the void lord.
Yeah.
Any other demons that die in the meantime, because anything that hits is going to fire.
Yeah.
So if your murloc's health aren't crazy, they're going to be
sure.
getting
Yeah.
and then once they go through the 3 void walkers, they got to survive that and hope to get somebody to hit the stupid juggler.
I faced somebody with the bombs fully upgraded.
Yeah,
he actually had 2 sets of those, and then he had the Baron.
Yep,
and that was face wrecked. I mean, everything was just yeah.
Some of the stuff I could do with them putting the soul juggler at tier 7.
Okay. There's
not a tier 7 right now, but there's just one more tier that you just never see it in the game. Like, you might get it, but probably not.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because I haven't been burnt that much by Soul Juggler, I guess.
Every game. Like, either you have it... Well, like, we have one recorded. We'll probably throw it up here on YouTube, where I wasn't doing so good, but then I found a Soul Juggler.
Yeah.
And then I think the one that I won with, I doubled him up, and then I got another one. So every demon that died was getting 9 damage thrown out randomly.
Sure.
And then I had a the Void Lord.
Yeah.
It was just insane. Like, the amount of damage that's from that one demon, and it's taunt, so they have to hit it.
Yeah.
That's 4 times 9. That's 36 damage being thrown.
That's true. Yeah.
Everywhere. Like, it's gross. And I've seen people have 2 upgraded Soul Jugglers.
Yeah.
And anything that rates stuff, demons are pretty high. So
that's true. I don't know. But,
they need like an official API where it's easier to track stats, though.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they would just do that so you could have like an overlay and actually know all your stats, as opposed to having to go to like HS Replay or any of that stuff to get like your information. I also really wish they would tell you number of games played as opposed to hours played for Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
So I could have if I was AFK on a screen for 4 hours, that really skews my average game time.
This is true, yeah.
So Darksburg, that was my big thing for the week that I played.
Yeah.
Did you get into anything?
I played Conan Exiles. I've been building up our base, so whenever you finally do get the point...
I have it downloaded on the laptop that has the camera.
So pretty much I've built up this base for us, basically just so you and me can just go to do the dungeons, because I've never done any of the dungeons. I don't think you have either. Just to test them out. And,
didn't you say you tried one of them?
Actually, I did try one with some random guy on the server. And
did he have an awesome name?
No, I think it was just normal. No, actually, it might have been Snow Pants. Yeah, it was Snow Pants.
Okay. That game seemed to have like people who were either super into the roleplay of it, or they had pretty inappropriate names, and then they were gone.
Yes.
I assume it was people who wanted to be a male character, do the no clothing setting, max out certain sliders, have a laugh, and then move on with their life.
Which is kind of sad.
Different strokes for different folks.
Conan Exiles and then Battlegrounds. So that's pretty much all I did.
All right. Yeah, our video game playing is lame.
Yeah.
But when we win the lottery...
Yes. We'll just play video games all the time.
I don't know if I could do it all the time, but I could definitely dedicate multiple days to it.
Sure. All right, so you ready to move on to... I don't know, wrestling, or you want to do some movies? Or...
Let's do the Batman trailer came out for the new Batman thing. I'll let you hit that one. See if that right there. Oh no, you did it too. All right, we need anti-stat. Yeah, it's going to have to reset.
Well, it doesn't matter. So we'll just
Something that could never, ever possibly destroy us.
We need to get some fabric off or something.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so we got the reveal trailer, I guess you would call it, the Batman first look.
Yep.
So, one thing, people really like the music in this trailer.
Really?
I've seen more comments about that than anything else.
See, well, I didn't know that it was music. Maybe it's because I watched it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah. So I'll take people's word for it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that stuck out the most was it looks like their guns is what the chest piece is.
Yeah.
I saw someone say that that's the guns that killed his parents or something.
Yeah, and you pointed it out to me, and I didn't notice that before.
I don't know if that's official or not, but I could kind of see that being it. I mean, it kind of looks like handles.
Yeah.
To a gun that are like broken or something, but I really don't know. Seems like a really inconvenient armor piece. And wouldn't that be more a collector's item?
Sure.
Like in the middle of a fight, or like, are they actual guns that he uses? Like, does this Batman use guns?
Yeah.
Or is it something totally different?
I hope Batman does not use guns. I hope they do not.
It could be though, like batarangs that flip out.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
They're like folded in half and one on each side, and then there's like a little square thing, like the square with the little circle. Hit that, and that's what lets it pop out.
Sure.
So I could see that. It could just be speculation that it was the gun handle. I like that idea, though, that he took that and did something. But it seems like he just melted down into a plate.
Sure, yeah.
And then the other thing, because you pointed this out, and I didn't really notice it, was the collar.
Yeah, I don't like the collar.
Do we have... I haven't seen any theories to the collar. Because it's not high enough, I wouldn't think. Like, like linemen, a lot of times in football, would have, like, the crazy like neck rolls or like the thing that just sticks behind your head.
Yeah.
Like it's not enough to prevent like a whiplash or anything, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
But it does look like the cape is anchored to the points of the collar.
Yeah.
So I mean that would keep it from strangling you.
Sure.
But, I mean you could just have it mounted to your shoulders like the other Batmans did.
Now I do notice like the mask itself.
Yeah.
Shows more of the jawline, I guess.
Yes. It doesn't come as far forward on the cheek.
Yeah, which I think it might be better because it looks more like the Daredevil.
Yeah,
from Netflix. It doesn't look as goofy as Christian Bale's Batman. As much as I like that Batman, it looked kind of goofy sometimes because it was so closed in to just his lips.
Well, I mean, I could see it from an armor standpoint because you don't want to take that jaw shot and knock you out. Mm-hmm. So maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, I didn't notice it, but it is cut back a little bit further.
Yeah.
But it could be to give more neck movement.
Sure.
So like, if you tilt your head down, you don't have something digging into the bottom of your neck.
Which you would think as a fighter that you wouldn't want that. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in Dark Knight where he was like, it makes it easier to turn your head getting out of the driveway.
Exactly, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I mean...
I don't like that he's getting ready to fight the Fiend, apparently, with the red lighting.
Yes.
We got to do without that crossover already.
Which makes you kind of wonder why they did the red lighting. Why is that...
could just be going for like a...
Or maybe because they haven't got the colors down right. Now, what if it's like brown leather looking? We have a problem with that?
If they do it right, I mean, I used to read... I don't know if you ever saw these. DC did Elseworlds. Mm-hmm. And the Elseworld comics were like Batman in different settings.
Yeah.
There was like Cowboy Batman. There was... basically, there was a lot of different Batmans. As long as the story's good, I don't really care.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if he's using like a Gatling gun on people... Like, say he's attached to his jet and is just mowing people down, very unlike Batman.
Yes.
I might have some questions. But in general, like, if this guy wants to use a whip instead of batarangs, that's fine. Give me a story. Give me a story that kind of makes it make sense. He knew Indiana Jones or something. And
now, speaking of the Batman universe.
Yeah.
I watched Hush, the DC animated movie.
Yes.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
The comic.
Now, I didn't read the comic, so...
The comic was very, very well received
at
the time. And they did all kinds of crazy stuff with Clay. Slight spoiler, Clayface was involved in the comics. I'm not sure on the... Is he involved?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he was some of the key moments in the comic, it turns out. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like overall, the Hush storyline was well received. I didn't read every single episode.
Yeah.
Because I think the last thing I read every episode of a crossover story was Nightfall.
Okay.
Whew. I was done after that. Because I had done Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Like all those. Like all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Funeral for a Friend. The Return of Superman. Mm-hmm. Superman fighting Big Yellow Guy. Okay. Superman going to the moon because his powers were so crazy.
You know, some people... For a guy who don't like Superman, you should read a lot of his comics.
Well, I kept thinking he was going to die again.
I was rooting for the bad guy the entire time.
I mean, I was sad on Superman 75 where he died, but it was more that Doomsday was stopped at the same time.
Well, no, and now like the newest comic, Superman fights the Watchman, blue guy.
Oh,
can you think of his name?
Manhattan.
Manhattan, yeah. So
I saw something for that on a YouTube thing.
Yeah,
and
so Manhattan's pretty powerful. So maybe you might get your wish. Maybe Superman dies against.
That'd be awesome. I think they actually said though that like one of I'm not even making this up, but I could be wrong, but I believed at the time. Superman can't actually die. He would just go into a hibernative state until his cells recharged from the sun. So you'd have to basically kill him with air quotes, and then lock him in a really dark room. But if sunlight ever got in, then basically if he got sunlight before he fully decomposed, then he's coming back.
I did see a really...
I don't know that that's true, but when someone told me that they introduced that and explained it about him, I didn't for a second question. I was like, of course they did.
I did see this funny meme that you probably would find humorous. It was Superman fighting. It looks like Goku. Okay, and he's all rolled up in a ball or whatever, and Superman's all tattered, bleeding, and everything. And he's talking to Batman. He's like, "I finally beat Goku," and then Batman's like, "No, moron, that was Yamcha." It was funny. It made me laugh.
Well, what would be worse, though, is if he did actually beat Goku. Yeah. That means that one way or the other, Goku's coming back, and he's going to be even stronger.
Yes.
Goku is basically Doomsday. He keeps coming back stronger.
Which I didn't really notice that about. I was reading something, and they said Saiyans, if you beat them almost to death,
they get stronger.
They get stronger.
That's why there was the one where I don't know if Vegeta had someone hit him with something or whatever, but they basically like blasted him, and then he took a sensu bean. Okay, and that basically raised his power.
So you would think that Vegeta just would just tell Kakarot to keep blasting him.
Kakarot wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I think that was like part of it. I can't remember when it was. And that could have been Dragon Ball GT, which I don't think counts anymore.
Yeah, so for some reason,
it is funny, though, that like the similarity between Doomsday and Goku, where they come back stronger than before. Sure. Except the one's more articulate than the other. One day Goku will probably catch up to Doomsday on that front.
One's smarter than the other, and yes, I'm talking about Doomsday.
Yes. Very powerful, but not smart.
So, before we go off to wrestling, because I don't think there's so much more...
I have a funny Captain America story.
All right, we'll go.
So on the way driving here, and it just shows how what you read or what you watch or what you're into can affect your brain. Okay. You've seen like the shirt that you can get at like regular stores, the Captain America shirt that just has the shield on it. Yeah. I saw like multiple of them just laying in the middle of the road, like driving through a neighborhood. And my first thought, I was like, what did Captain America do? Like, because in the comics, like, someone would set Captain America up as the bad guy, and all of a sudden everybody would be like burning all their merchandise of him or something. Sure. So my first thought was that, like, as if Captain America were real, he had done something to disgrace himself, and people were done with Captain America and just throwing his apparel in the middle of the road.
So there was a bunch of T-shirts?
Just like 3, but it was weird to see 3 Captain America shirts in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Like, fairly close together.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That might have been what? Because it would have been one, maybe I wouldn't have had that thought. But it was just like, I always imagine, like, they do, like, the single panel of people, like, throwing, like, whatever, like, their Spider-Man stuff or Spider-Man dolls away or crying, you know, whatever. But I just saw that, and that's what I thought of.
So, have you tried to watch that new Joker movie?
Nope.
I have tried, and I have actually tried. I have tried 4 times to watch this thing, and I can't do it. It just...
Zero desire.
So, yeah, so I went on YouTube and I just watched segments of it, of the best parts. Even the best parts, I'm like, this is stupid.
I don't know. I don't watch people like it. I'm not a fan of origin story to the Joker.
Yeah.
So there's almost no way that I can watch that movie and enjoy it, because it might be a good movie, but I'm going to have a fundamental flaw with it in my mind.
Sure. So
I could never be unbiased. Like, I'm going in thinking it's bad.
Gotcha. Yeah, I tried several times, and I'm like, I don't know why people like the movie. I can't. And I've legitimately tried 4 times to watch it.
My wife said she tried to watch it, but it just wasn't her thing.
Yeah.
But she has no bias like I do.
Sure.
Now, my brother is a super Batman Joker fan. Like, he really loves them. Mm-hmm. He's really into the idea of the movie and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of surprised by that, because he's generally more.
Did you like it? Or he hasn't watched it yet?
No, he's fine with it. Whereas I thought he'd be more along my lines, where I don't want that. Like, that's not something I ask for.
Yeah.
And I don't. It just feels like you're being risky. Now, I guess they haven't officially. I don't know. Like, I'm not up with comics, so they might have already done it in the comics too, but I'd still be against it from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah.
So I think that's just because I'm old and I'm set in my ways, and I'm afraid of new stuff.
You know, another movie that I guess it bombed was
Cats?
Bird. Yeah. Oh yeah, Cats is a movie.
I want to see Cats. To be fair, and I know there's a segment of the world that's like this.
Yeah.
As bad as the reviews were and everything about Cats.
Sure.
It made me want to go see it.
Hey, we watched,
to witness it.
You and me watched that Ghostbusters movie, so maybe when Cats come out, we'll watch Cats.
Which, if no one checked that, you can go back and see whatever episode it was. We ended up not thinking that was as bad as people made it out to be.
Surprisingly, yes. I didn't like it, but it wasn't as bad as people.
I still say there were 2 movies in there.
Yes.
There was the whatever you're doing over the top humor stuff, and the actual good movie. Like, you could make a cut of that. Yeah. Splice in a little bit of the actual Ghostbusters talking to him one time for 2 minutes, and you fix that movie.
But Birds of Prey.
Yeah, didn't do good.
I heard. Well, I heard from 2 people that I know. They said it was terrible. One person on Facebook that I'm friends with, he actually said he liked it. The trailers to it just looks bad.
It doesn't look like anything that I have any desire to see.
No.
And I think Harley Quinn's a great character.
Yeah.
But I have no idea.
I don't know how you base a movie around her without having one of the Batman people.
I mean, you could do, like, I don't know. Again, I associate Harley with Joker and Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Like, basically from the animated series. Where she came from. So,
sure.
Like, that's what I think of for Harley.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. Like,
maybe if they would put Damien in there. Sarcastic Damien is great, because in the Hush movie, Damien was talking to Batman, and he's totally against Batman being with Catwoman in that film or that movie, and Damien's like, you do your thing. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? He's like, don't get involved with the woman. And I was just like, this Damien right here is great, because he's like super psychotic, ultra serious, but very, I don't know.
No, he's a animated again. DC knocks it out of the park with animated almost every time. Real films, no.
Now, if he was in Birds of Prey, I think I probably might like it more.
Just to see
the kid version of him just trying to track down Harley Quinn, because I thought it would be funny.
Right. Well, and you could have Harley built up a little bit and make it like a fair fight.
Sure.
Because Damien's a bit crazy.
Yes.
And very well trained, but crazy.
So I don't know. Eventually, I guess I'll watch it, but
I seriously have zero desire to see it.
But see,
I had no desire for Suicide Squad either. But I eventually watched it, and I was like, okay. And oddly enough, one of the things I was suspicious of was Will Smith being involved.
Yeah, I was too.
Because it was like, and not like because Deadshot's normally a white dude, but it was because this doesn't seem like a Will Smith movie.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, Will Smith is actually what saved that movie.
He was the best part, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause Will Smith is good in movies, but I was just curious. I was like, this just doesn't seem like a. Did they just pay him a bunch of money to be in this?
I agree with that. Yeah.
But yeah, his character made it for sure.
But people loved Deadpool, and I can't. I thought Deadpool was stupid.
I like Deadpool.
But
it's exactly what I would expect a Deadpool movie to be.
Now, I don't like the character Deadpool.
Okay.
So I understand the character. I don't like those chaotic. I can't get behind his character.
Chaotic, neutral.
Like if Lobo had a movie,
yeah.
As cool as I like Lobo in the cartoons, I don't think I would like a movie about Lobo because he's another chaotic.
So you're saying, because if Lobo's real, I don't want the main man coming here after me. So you were saying that you, Saul, don't think Lobo should get a movie.
I don't know. It depends how you do it. Because like if you do the 80s Lobo, where he's like riding on dolphins and stuff, I don't know. I don't know how well that would transition. Where he's fighting Santa Claus, and I don't know. If you do a more serious, not the emo Lobo, because I saw that one. That one looks terrible.
No, I would want main man Lobo showing up with his chain on his space motorcycle.
See, I think you can make that cool without it being corny, because I think Lobo will fall dangerously close to being.
I think he needs to be slightly on the side of ridiculous. I mean, he did show. Yeah. One of my favorite comics is it was like the old peel and stick decals.
Okay,
and it was Superman and Lobo.
Yeah,
and like Lobo showed up just because he was bored and he wanted to fight Superman to see how it would go.
Okay,
like. I don't think he was looking to kill him.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to fight somebody.
Gotcha.
And he had fought so much stuff and just wasn't getting a challenge, so he wanted to fight Superman. And had Superman just fought him, it probably would have went a lot easier.
Sure.
But
I saw the last thing, we can move on to wrestling, but I saw the one DC, it was Justice League cartoon, where Superman is like disappeared or gone or whatever, and Lobo shows up because he's bored.
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey, I want to be part of the Justice League," and he kind of like he tries to like do like a job interview for the Justice League, and he's like, so they're all like fighting these criminals, and you know Lobo's incredibly strong, but he's like destroying the city because he's throwing cars at people, and Batman's like, "No, you are not Justice League material."
Lobo and Batman interacting on a regular basis would be amazing.
Yes,
because it would be like because eventually he'd be like, "You are dumber than Superman. Your thought processes do not go further than 3 seconds."
What that would be a buddy cop film right there, Lobo and Batman. All right, so
you'd have to have snarky Batman, but
yes.
I don't know what the hell's going on here, folks. Looks like he's just wearing blue.
This is a revolution.
Whoops.
Yep.
All right. So going into AEW.
Yep.
So how would you rate this episode before we get into it? Myself, I thought this might have been their best episode,
and I think other people have said that too. And
right,
I agree with them. It was pretty good.
It was strong for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't have to fight falling asleep during it at all, so that tells me that they did something right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I don't have my usual notes because we're doing this a little bit earlier. But we got Kenny and Hangman.
Yeah.
And they fought SCU in the rematch, basically rematch, I guess is what you would call it, the number one contender or whatever.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised they went more of the heel route for SCU, I guess.
Yeah, that was real interesting because they were definitely working like a more heel style. Mm-hmm. So, but either way, I mean, end result is Paige and Omega retain.
Yeah.
Pretty good match, though.
Which I figured they would win that.
Yeah. I could have seen something weird. Like, if they were going to do the split and build to Hangman and Omega having a match at Revolution, they probably would have had to do it now.
Sure, yeah.
But that would have been, based on everything else they've done, that would be very short build for a match.
Sure.
And I think they already got stuff going with them. But, yeah, so we got that match. I mean, good match. There's not a lot to say about it other than what you said. The, SCU working the more heel style.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get something out of that.
I did like the Dark Order stuff. For Christopher Daniels was like, oh, let me go in the back. And
yeah, that was like, what? Well, and I like that JR was like, well, that's really not helping his case at all, is it?
Sure.
Because that's what we're all thinking.
It's logical, yeah. Like, why would you do that?
So that was nice. But yeah, they surround the ring. Everybody comes out because they got the tag team royal coming up.
Which, I don't know. I think that might be too chaotic. I see a lot of flips going around, a lot of dives out the ring.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
because I've slowly soured on battle royals.
Yeah.
Now, when I was younger, very much, I can't even remember when they did it. There was like a tag team battle royal that WWF did, where like if one member gets eliminated, you're both out.
Yeah,
and I thought it was the most amazing thing ever at the time.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if I have any desire to watch that. I'm going to, and hopefully it'll be way better than I think. But I could see the tag team thing just being a mess.
Sure.
Because you just got a bunch of dudes doing stuff. We'll see.
A lot of Canadian destroyers in the ring, I'm sure.
Jeez, Pete. So they went to the interview with Jim Ross and Santana.
Yep.
Who, that interview was intense.
It was.
Like, that was a good interview. That made Santana seem like serious to me. Mm-hmm. And then the commentary played it up too, where like they're not taking any responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, they're the ones who stabbed him in the eyeball with a spike.
Yes.
Like, they're taking, nope, that's not their fault.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's funny because, like you said, Santana is more of the, I don't know, more of the aggressive type person. He looks like a dangerous person.
Yes.
And then Ortiz is more the comical guy, where he's doing like the tiger claw, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a weird combination with Proud and Powerful because
I like it though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it feels like he does the tiger taunt a little too, like he's trying to build a special up like first thing in the match, like from No Mercy or something.
Yeah.
But maybe that's like mentally, maybe he's like, no, this is what you would do.
Sure.
And that'd be awesome. Like, especially if he explained it that way one day. He's like, no, man, I'm building up my special.
Sure.
Because a lot of people would understand exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So we go to Dustin and Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like still him being called the Natural. Like, that seems good.
Yeah. Though in WCW, he was called the Nightmare.
Did they call him that a couple times?
Yeah.
I know he was the Natural for a while too, though.
Oh yeah, he wasn't natural, but I guess when he came back after it was being Gold Dust and he came back to WCW, he was called the Nightmare.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cody has made more of it, I think, than he did.
Yes.
Although Dustin's probably like, man, did I miss an opportunity?
Yes.
So they built this match up a little bit with Hager on the outside.
I mean, Sammy's a good wrestler. I don't know.
Do you ever watch his vlog?
No, because I can't do it. I tried watching it.
I do, and he's much more likable on that.
Okay.
Like, more often than not, he is likable. But as a wrestler, I just want him to lose.
I think hanging out with Jericho and being in part of the inner circle has toned him down a lot. Or maybe he's just... Maybe defined his character more because
he made some adjustments.
He's not as annoying as he used to be, so I will give him that.
Yeah, well, and I think that's probably like a design thing. But you're not supposed to like him, so
he achieves it. Yeah.
But it's not I don't know. Like, it's much more like the people that I don't like in AEW. I don't hate them as human beings. I don't want them to not be on the screen, but I do want to see them lose.
Sure.
So, which is, in an ideal world, how it works.
Yeah.
And again, it could be,
Well, yeah,
we're still early into this AEW thing.
And everyone that's listening too, I hope you guys know that when I say I don't like somebody, I don't like their character. I don't know these people in real life. I met some of these psychopaths online that
yes,
attack them on a personal level. I don't like their characters.
I saw similar to that. This is like an aside, but I saw someone had made some girl made or lady, woman, I don't know what her age is.
Yeah,
made a song out of all the hateful Twitter comments.
Yeah,
and some of them were just so mean, and I'm like, why take the time? Even if you really feel that way, because one of them was like, your voice is like gargling glass or something like that, and it's like I'm listening to it, I'm like, objectively, her voice is at least okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good voice for singing. Now there could have been some effects to it or whatever, but in no way, I can't imagine anyone being like, this is awful. You need to stop singing.
Yeah.
Bison are showing up in the yard because they think you're calling them. Why the need to just try to tear someone down when it doesn't matter? It'd be one thing if they were playing jump rope with their kid, holding them by the arms and the legs, and you're like, I think what you're doing is terrible. Okay.
Well, and this kind of goes along with later on here because the women's championship. But
yeah,
I don't
we'll talk about that a little bit.
I don't understand. I just don't understand. If you don't like something, then don't watch it. Or
move on. Or constructive criticism is one thing, feedback as opposed to hate. That's seriously. You could save yourself a bunch of characters. Just type hate.
Well, and I just see them refreshing at their home at computers, waiting for a reply. So they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to." It's like, get alive.
Okay, so we'll finish this.
Yeah.
So Dustin gets the win with Final Reckoning. I hate that move as a finisher still.
Okay.
I really don't like it because it's a suplex.
Sure.
Maybe a neck breaker if you want to call it, if you want to go that route.
Yeah.
But it's one of the lay down flat neck breakers.
Is it worse than Luger's?
The torture rack?
Yeah, I hated it. The torture rack was.
I hate Lex. I do not like Lex Luger to the point where people would buy me his action figure.
Yeah.
Or one year I got a cake with Lex Luger on it.
Yeah.
Because I disliked him so much that it was funny to get me. People would basically waste money. Yeah. I disliked Lex Luger so much. Torture rack's fine.
He was a terrible character. Anyway.
He was very bland to me.
Yeah.
But I did and he looked like a dude that if he got you up like that, he could definitely stretch you out.
Sure.
So, so basically we're going to end up getting Hager and Dustin
Finally, Hager gets
in the ring.
Yeah.
It's going to be funny if he just low blows him and DQ'd and that's the end of it.
Now, what if he wears his normal polo, his normal outfit?
I'd love it. I would love it.
That's his wrestling attire.
Did you notice, on the one part where he was adjusting his hair in the background?
Yeah.
And he doesn't blink, apparently? I saw someone point that out, and I was like, maybe that's why he's always so weird.
Yeah.
He's just a strange guy. So, stupid Tony Schiavone interviews Britt Baker.
Yeah.
And he's just a jerk yet again.
Yeah.
I love that she extracted the tooth for free.
Yes.
Which we were talking about, it'd be a horrible thing if she were to be charging her for dental advice in the back after it. Mm-hmm. But now I understand that she was actually doing a service.
Yeah.
So, also she tore down Shivani.
Yeah.
Excellent. I don't know that she needed to be so mean to JR, but...
So refresh people again. Why do you not like Tony Schiavone again?
Apparently, he doesn't like Dean Malenko.
In real life? Or the character Dean Malenko?
Doesn't matter. All I know is if Tony Schiavone has beef with Dean Malenko, Tony Schiavone's wrong.
You know what? Speaking of Dean Malenko, and this is kind of a side note, I saw a weird spot of, what's his name? Tony Blanchard fighting Shane Douglas in ECW.
Yeah.
And Shane Douglas, Chris Benoit, and Dean Malenko was all in a group together.
Yeah.
In ECW. I didn't know that.
Yep. Shooters, I believe, is what they were.
Really? Okay.
Did you ever see any of Malenko's ECW stuff?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you see him and Eddie Guerrero's 2 out of 3 falls match?
Yeah.
He was awesome
Yeah.
there. I didn't even know about ECW Dean Malenko until later, so that was like the best surprise ever.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now, with going into hour 2 of the Dean Malenko podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, so eventually I hope that Tony Schiavone gets sent to Texas and never comes back, is what I hope there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but they basically, like, Britt Baker with a pretty good promo overall.
Yeah,
like,
I think turning her heel is probably the best thing for that character.
It seems to be working good.
Yeah.
Like, people online still don't like it a ton, but they're coming around.
Yeah.
She's getting more natural with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably just sitting there and be like, what's the worst thing I could say that would be like funny, but it's actually terrible?
Well, she seems to know a lot about football, so I mean, just go to town and start insulting different teams.
Yeah. I mean, I think this will work for her, and then they can get her to face one day if they want.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of directed this kind of stuff. Like, it seems like being a heel has to be easier.
I would think so. Especially,
you basically just like the things you think of that you shouldn't say.
Against trolls would be very easy. Like online.
Well,
you just lay it like MJF has a field day with people.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it's basically like, what would I not say here?
Yeah.
How would I make that worse? That's what I'm going to say. There you go.
Sure.
You don't actually have to like be upholding to anything.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I've heard a lot of wrestlers say that they prefer heel.
Well, then, if you go too far with it, be like, well, my character, that's my character. He doesn't know his limits.
Well, you just got to watch, make sure you know the rules of your country. So, like if you're in Germany or Brazil and you're not doing stuff to their flag or doing salutes that are actually illegal.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. But yeah, so she claims that that's her division.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let me see here. Yeah, so they're talking. Yeah, they were talking to Nyla. Did her thing for a minute there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they just started the match. Sorry, I'm going from the official AllEliteWrestling.com thing as opposed to my own notes.
Sure.
So it's weird. But what do you think of the match overall?
I thought it was
with
good.
Nyla and Rio.
I
liked the match. I felt like they were going to have Nyla win, but I really wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're real good. I think I know what's going to happen, but there's still enough gray area.
I didn't think...
like, false finishes get me.
I thought Nyla would win, but I thought she would win at a pay-per-view. I didn't think she was going to win at Dynamite.
Right here.
Yeah. So
might have big plans for something, maybe.
Sure.
Or try something different. My only issue with the match was a couple of the things where Rio was throwing Nyla around seemed unrealistic to me based on the size comparison.
Okay.
Like, there wasn't the effort to it that I feel like there should have been.
Gotcha.
Because,
okay.
like, you've picked up something that's heavier than you probably should, but you were just able to make it happen. You don't move fluid when you're doing that. It's hurting you. So
I don't know how you would do that, because in real life, Rio is not flipping.
Yeah, like the Northern Lights is, I think, the one that I had the most problem with.
Yeah.
And this is obviously like me finding things to pick at.
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing that took me out of it briefly.
Yeah.
But then I remembered it's pro wrestling, so whatever.
Sure.
If it would have been like drop kick her into the ropes and she's coming forward, caught her, like that momentum. Yeah, something like that. Like, but again, that's like such a small thing that whatever. But yeah, so Nyla wins, speared her pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then got the powerbomb.
And people...
Her powerbomb is growing on me.
Okay.
Like I like power bombs, but sometimes I'm just not sure on them. Now it could be because Rio is lighter than a heavy bag, so she's just getting manhandled.
Sure,
but
I mean, and people had a problem with Nyla winning, and
yeah, there were Val Venus of all people. I don't even know if it was a real tweet or not, but if it was, holy moly!
What? So you didn't like it? Or
no? I'm not going to go over it here.
Yeah, that's fine. But so what? Looking at her character, we'll just focus on her character because I don't know anything outside of her character.
Right.
So just focusing on her character, they have built this character up a lot from the very beginning of AEW
as a beast.
And
because she stood toe to toe with Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
And I think they gave, like a stalemate, or Kong had a bit of an advantage, but it was, like whatever.
Yeah.
But they were setting her up as a big player.
Sure.
And
so
kind of got off the track, but getting back on track now.
Yeah, I mean, and she wins the championship. I mean, they followed through that storyline. It was a good storyline for that character, and I would say it's one of the bright spots of the women's division because they've actually followed through this with this character.
Well, where she was power bombing everybody through the table, she got suspended because she was so it.
And now, because people don't like her as a bad guy, because she's a heel.
Yes.
It sets up more of I think it's a better story for whoever finally does beat her.
Well, anytime you have an unstoppable type character or a hard to stop character, like you want that.
Yes.
Like regardless of real life things that people have a problem with.
Yeah.
It's pro wrestling.
Sure.
I have watched man versus woman matches that have been way better than man versus man or woman versus man.
Sure.
They've made it work. Now, I've seen some that are awful.
Yeah.
But you know what I've also seen? David Arquette in a wrestling ring back in the 90s. So, being awful at wrestling knows no gender. It knows no age.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I watched old WCW footage of Crowbar versus David Flair.
I bet that was great.
that was a great match. Let me tell you.
Did they have the rubber crowbar that they had to keep straightening?
Yes.
That's one of my favorite parts of that era.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Yeah. So, basically, I think that, one, people have real-life issues with Nyla.
Yeah.
This is pro wrestling.
Yes.
I don't get it. Like,
yes.
of all the... when it's affecting something real, like roller derby, talk to me.
Yes.
But as it is now, like, I'm going to enjoy my wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't care about that in this respect.
Yeah.
I don't know why people have to just hate people.
Yeah. Just sit back and enjoy the show. And so, I mean, that's all I want to say about it. I think the character's good. I think it's good that she won the championship. That belt, though, they need to get a new belt. Because
it needs to be scaled up.
Yes.
Because it was grab the right corner of it and drag it a little bit.
Yes.
Because for Rio, it's fine. But for everybody else...
Well, and that's what someone said online. They're like, did you guys custom make this belt for Rio?
Rio size.
Because, no, it would look goofy on anybody else. And I think they're right.
We'll see. Maybe they did have maybe they actually had to make a smaller one for her and they knew she was going to be the first champ. So they didn't want it to be like...
So next week, is this going to be big? And
remember
explanation?
Remember Rey Mysterio wearing the big gold belt?
Yeah.
Like, it just looked weird because it was so gigantic on him.
Sure.
Same thing.
Maybe it will be like Lord of the Rings. When Sauron puts the ring on, it's like gigantic, but then when a human being has it, it shrinks down to like human.
Whatever size it needs to
be. Maybe the women's championship belt is magic.
Nyla just wears it as like an armband. Starts doing like clotheslines with it as a finish, like the dirty move. That'd be awesome. And like just constantly complaining, like, look how small this belt is. Just like constantly berating like the elite about it.
You know what?
That would be awesome.
That might be a good storyline, actually.
So really what we were saying is stop hating people for whatever and just go about your life.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling. Jeez, oh Pete. Let's see here. So they got more inner circle stuff here. Mm-hmm. Trying to find... this is where they introduced Cobb.
Yeah.
And they actually built him up and said what his name was.
Yeah.
As opposed to him just coming out from under the ring. Because I was worried that is the only way they're going to debut new people is you either cut out of the ring or you come from under the ring apron or like what are they doing here?
WCW would do that a lot though back in the day. I mean, I remember like Raven just sitting in the audience.
I'm okay coming out of the audience. Like that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're just if everybody like it'd be a running joke at some point like oh, I got to debut for AEW, but I got to come from under the ring. Like, well, how do you know that? They're like, It's what everyone does. Moxley is the only guy who showed up out of the crowd.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, that's apparently his gimmick. He's got it copyrighted or something. Him and his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cobb. Now, have you seen much of Cobb's stuff?
Yeah. I like
seen
his
some.
Island to Island, and you told me that you hate it.
Yes. So, well, we'll have an opportunity to discuss that later. Brandy came out and joined commentary for Jungle Boy and MJF.
And she pretty much kind of
apologized.
And just got rid of that.
Wasn't she like, well, I was going through some things. Basically, I was going through some stuff, and they're like, we understand.
I'll give it to AEW. They do a lot better job of wrapping up a storyline, and they're like, okay, well, I guess we're moving on.
Like, instead of never addressing it, and it's just gone, they actually acknowledged.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah. Well, it gives you closure to know that it's not like they just, like, wanted to wipe it away.
Yeah.
They're just like, didn't work, we'll wrap it up, and move on.
Yeah.
So, Brandy much better on commentary as not a bad, mean person. Because she wasn't even, like, heel on that one. She was just a mean person is what it was.
Yes.
So we get MJF and Jungle Boy.
Yep.
So what were your expectations coming into this match?
Not too much.
No. I've watched MJF, but I'm always surprised by how athletic he actually is.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, how quick and the movements he can do. Because he doesn't come across as that kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, at all. He seems like he's going to be... So, as it is right now, because I don't see him all the time wrestling, it's always like, oh, yeah, I forgot that he's really athletic, as opposed to just being kind of big.
Well, it's good to see him wrestling now, because I guess his MLW contract ran out.
Yeah.
And now I still think he wrestles for MLW, but now he's more of an AEW wrestler than he is an MLW.
Instead of an MLW wrestler who's with AEW, he's an AEW wrestler who's with MLW.
Yeah,
which is fine. But Jungle Boy, MJF, like, he sends Wardlow to the back.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need any help. And Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus go away because he doesn't need any help.
Yeah.
And we get to the match. I mean, there's not, other than just, like, I'm always surprised by MJF's athleticism.
Yeah.
It's a back and forth match. MJF shows how much smarter he is than Jungle Boy.
Yes.
By beating him fair and square.
Yep.
Because the ref saw nothing. Anything?
No, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It kept my attention. They gave me a couple moments where, like, I don't know, Jungle Boy is growing on me, and he seems to be getting a lot better too.
Yeah.
Not that he was bad in the beginning, but it seems like there's a little more things, or it could just be like him and MJF. Maybe they have super chemistry.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the future
Good.
when Jungle Man is going against.
He finally becomes a Jungle Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, somewhere like JR even said, he was like, well, when he's like 30 or 35, we're not going to call him Jungle Boy. That's stupid.
Sure. Well, and I think that's what JR keeps calling him, Jungle Jack.
Yeah, here and there. Yeah. Well, and he even came out, like, Jungle Boy himself was okay with it now.
Right.
Like, he's made his point that he can get somewhere on his own.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, using the Dynamite Diamond ring, I have an issue with a pinky ring being your punching ring.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Sure.
Like, I'd like to try that out if they ever give away, because I'm never going to buy one for sure.
Yeah.
But if they do they sell replica diamond rings for that? I bet they do.
I'm sure somewhere you probably can get one. Yeah.
But yeah, so Wardlow comes in and they're like beating the crap out of Jungle Boy, and he hits. Did they even say what that thing was called?
They might have.
Like, it's like an F5, but you just hope for the best. Like, that's really like, all right, so what's your finish? I'm assuming that's his finishing move.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I get you up like an F5 or like a fireman's carry.
Yeah.
And then you know how, like, you spin for the F5 and you go down into the DDT thing? Mm-hmm. I just chuck you as hard as I can and we hope for the best. Try to get flat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Like, that's really, like, hold on, I got these action figures. Let me show you.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Wardlow. We will find out next week.
I'm real curious how that's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, put him with Cody probably the best thing. Because if he's not that good,
I have no idea what to expect.
Exactly.
I haven't tried to find any matches of his.
I haven't either.
Intentionally, because I just want to be surprised a little bit.
Good or bad.
Yeah, one way or the other. But I mean, really, like, as big as he is and the way they built him up,
yeah.
I mean, punch Cody in the face, give him a big boot, stretch him some, pick him up and throw him one way or another.
But yeah,
that's all he's got to do.
Do the basic big man stuff.
Yeah, Cody's going to do the rest. He's going to make him look good with the selling, and people are going to be into the match because, like, it should be a no-brainer. I expect Wardlow to lose.
Yeah.
How crazy would that be if he won, though, and it just no match? Like, I don't know. That would be an interesting story to tell.
Sure.
Where, like, Cody just can't get his hands on MJF for some reason.
Yeah.
So, we got more of Pac training.
Yeah. They're doing a really good job with him just being a creepy guy in the darkness, running and exercising and screaming in the dark.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure, like you said a couple weeks ago, like, him just screaming at night in a park, probably like, man, what? Because he's a pretty intimidating looking guy anyway.
There's some ripped dude in his underwear just screaming at the camera.
Frank, there's a guy over there. Let's get out of here.
It'd be better if he always used the same stairs to where they're like, it's that weirdo again.
These are my stairs. I want my rubber bunch.
I want my stairs.
Yeah.
So we get like Champion in his skybox.
Yeah.
We also get a brawl basically before the match even starts with Moxley and Santana, and they just pretty much wear each other out. Is what I would say. They both have to at this point be like, these eye patches suck because Santana stayed in place much better. I was amazed that bandana stayed on as well as it did.
Yeah.
Like he had to like glue that on his head or something.
Well, yeah, so like I just want to know what they're going to do going forward. Like, are we like going to be like next year at this time? They're still having the eye patch on and everything.
It seems like the eye patch has got to go away soon. Well, like when he fought Suzuki at New Beginning, the eye patch comes off. His eye is fine. I think he's just messing with the inner circle.
But he did have an eye patch over there?
Yeah, he came out, he had an eye patch, he had some gauze over it. But basically, because him and Suzuki just punched each other in the face over and over, that thing came off eventually.
Now, did he keep his eyes closed?
He had it closed, and like you'd see him like just grab the eye every once in a while.
So he was still playing, then it's still...
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like at the end of the match, he like saw that the camera was right on him, and like he was selling like the injuries of the match, but he was also like made it a point to check out his eye.
Yeah.
See, and I mean, if you did get like stabbed in the eye or something and it didn't actually put it out, your cornea would eventually heal. You would be very sensitive.
Which they have been very clear to say that it hasn't been poked out. So we're not doing what was it, Scotty Riggs?
Yeah.
And Raven? Yeah.
Well, he tricked me into thinking my eye was gone.
Yes.
Mind games or what?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Like, you just never took that thing off to wash it? What are you doing?
Yes.
So Moxley ends up winning this thing.
I thought for sure he was going to DDT the ref.
Moxley?
Yeah, because the way he was grabbing there.
Oh, yeah. Because they went to Rick Martel, Jake the Snake, the match. Yeah, I could have seen that happen and the match being like a no contest.
Which would be the first DQ in AEW.
Would it?
Yeah.
I was not aware that they haven't done that.
I don't think there's been any DQs in AEW.
Huh.
Unless they're saving that for something.
Could be. They actually make it like a thing.
Mean something? Because, I mean, every week in
Well, what
WWE,
happened with the Jericho match, though? Jericho and Jungle Boy? Because he just was like, nope, match is over. Oh, okay. This match is no contest.
No, he won because they went past the 10 minutes.
Right, but then he was like, okay, we're going to do the 5 more minutes or whatever.
Well, he said that, but it wasn't official. I don't think they actually yeah.
Okay. I was thinking because he said it, I mean...
Who knows?
Right.
I could be wrong.
But, so they beat the crap out of Moxley.
Yeah.
Is really what comes in here. Ortiz came in and was like trying to poke him in the good eye.
Yes.
So I liked that.
Yeah.
And then they held him up, got the Judas effect on him, and Cobb comes in, which I was surprised to actually see him this week.
Yeah, I was too.
It was amazing that the crowd also had an idea to expect him.
Sure.
And give a reaction as opposed to everyone sitting there like, who's that guy coming from under the ring? Oh.
Well, to be fair,
What's
though...
that commentator? The commentator in the mask is losing his mind over there, but I don't know what he's saying here live.
To be fair to Cobb, though, I think Cobb is a little bit more well-known than Dr. Luther deathmatch guy from Japan or
from
China.
under the ring.
Yeah.
Apparently, though. So this is completely unrelated to that, but I was listening to a podcast that Moxley was on, the Jericho Cruise, where it was like a paranormal style thing.
Okay.
And they're talking about Bigfoots and ghosts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Moxley was like, yeah, Luther, he went on an actual Bigfoot, like, scavenger hunt kind of thing. Like, where you go out to an area where there's, like, Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah.
So I guess that dude's super into it.
You know, a little sidetrack from the wrestling here. I don't know if I would want to do that.
No.
On this cat, because I don't want to run across a Bigfoot.
Well, they brought up, so on that podcast, like, they brought up the point, they're like, all Bigfoot sightings, no one's ever like, look at all these marks and bruises, or my arm ripped out of my body.
Yeah.
Like, they just see Bigfoot. So Bigfoot might not be aggressive.
Well, like, it might have been Joe Rogan I was listening to. He was talking about, like, you know, doing a scavenger, or looking for Bigfoot in the wild or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, I met people who have run across silverback apes in the wild.
Scary.
And he's like, they have said it terrifies you. He's like, so imagine something bigger than that. Because he's like, Bigfoot usually says they're 8 foot tall, 7 foot tall. That'd be an intimidating type thing to be seeing in the
Something
wild.
that makes Big Show look like a normal human.
Yes.
Yeah. That podcast is Beyond the Darkness is the name of it, if anyone's interested in that. It was I think it was a more recent one, but yeah, it's got Moxley on it. They talk about stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining because he's been on Jericho's show and they've talked about like UFOs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think he has the same mindset that I do, where it's like, you know, that stuff's not there, but you kind of hope it is because it'd be crazy to find out that it is.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so Tour of the Islands.
Yeah.
So my problem with this move. Now you showed me like one of the compilation videos of it.
Yeah.
And I like it when he's doing it off the second rope, like the avalanche style.
Gotcha.
There's some of them where he catches people into it, and it's pretty impressive. But when you just pick them up, it doesn't make sense for me to wind it up.
Yeah, because like you said, one...
Why wouldn't you just keep the momentum going the way you're going?
Yes.
And just do a big 360 style one?
Agreed.
Like,
But-
I showed you with the Lego figures what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, for when he catches people, it's like, okay, maybe he's trying to disorient them some.
Maybe
but,
he'll change it as he gets older, because I see him hurting his back.
I mean, if you're like, I mean, he gets like a good base with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's got like phenomenal core strength.
Yeah.
Because some of the people he was doing that to are
Big guys.
boys. But yeah, it just seems like it's so unnecessary to me.
Agreed.
It's like an extra step. And it's not the sake of like the worm. It was a falling chop that was awful.
Yes.
But there was theatrics to it because that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
This just seems like, well, why wouldn't you just... Like Big Show. Well, why don't you just punch him in the beginning of the match?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the things... Like, that's what it seems like to me is like there's this extra stuff
Yeah.
that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
But it is impressive. I will say that. I also have the fear, I think, of someone not having their legs pulled. And when he goes the other way with it, somebody's knee is going to go a direction it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah, but overall, I enjoyed the...
yeah, I thought it was a good show. Be curious if it increases their ratings for next week.
Yeah.
If you care about that, I guess AEW won again.
Yeah.
Whatever. People seem to... Like, I didn't watch the NXT. People seem to like it. Good. Like,
that's the only thing I can say. Yeah, good.
I don't think either of us caught much WWE other than we got Becky the Vampire Slayer now and all that.
Yeah, apparently she got attacked by a vampire or a zombie or something. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but and we're going to get Goldberg and The Fiend.
God.
I kind of want Goldberg to win, just so I can check out Twitter and Reddit and watch the meltdown. Now, I do not think that Goldberg should be beating The Fiend.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I wouldn't love to watch this. Like, how do you explain that, or how does that make sense?
Yeah.
We could be like, okay, so the first guy to beat The Fiend is Goldberg. Now, Lesnar beat Undertaker, broke the streak.
Yeah.
He's been around for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of paid that off in a way. I don't see Goldberg having many more matches in him as Lesnar has done.
Yes.
And I can definitely say, regardless of the criticism of Lesnar, when he has a match that goes for a while, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Goldberg, even in his prime, was spear, jackhammer, weird head shake.
Yes.
There you go. Fireworks security guy.
Yeah.
Challenge him to a first blood match, you might win before the match starts.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine a world where they're like, you know what worked real good was when Goldberg just killed Kevin Owens for no reason. Let's do that to The Fiend.
Yeah, and then they teased, I guess, on SmackDown also Hogan versus The Fiend.
I don't know if that was.
I hope that's not going to happen.
I hope it does.
Oh God. Well, I liked in the interview because I did watch the interview where Hogan is like, back in my prime, I remember wrestling Goldberg. I was like,
yes.
That
was
prime,
brother.
It's like the prime of the NWO, maybe wasn't your prime, buddy. I think.
I mean, he was still not bad at that time, but it would be interesting to see him because people were talking about if Hogan did get one last match, if he got cleared for it, would he not use the leg drop and go back to the Axe Bomber? Which is basically like, have you ever seen that?
No.
He basically throws him into the ropes, and I think it was I want to say it was just like a vicious double axe handle.
Okay.
Like, just drilled him with it.
Yeah.
And someone came up and they were like, they could even tell the story, like have McMahon talking to him that, that's why he had to do the leg drop in WWF. Because he wasn't allowed to do the Axe Bomber. And like basically, similar to what Jericho did with the Judas Effect, kind of build up the Axe Bomber as a legitimate finisher.
Yeah.
And that way, if he hits somebody with it, it's like, oh, okay, that's what's going on here.
I did like...
Looks like I want to see someone doing the figure four on rebar and bending it, showing how devastating that move is.
Sure. I did like how on Twitter, I guess someone was saying, I want to see the NWO one last match. And somebody replied like, I don't know, Scott Hall's kind of old to be carrying the entire match.
I assume they mean like the traditional three.
Yeah.
I mean, Nash might actually be able to get a match out, but I don't think he wants to now.
I
now
think,
that he's fixed.
I think they'd probably be like, okay, well, Scott Hall, can you carry us while we just sit in the corner here? And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna do I can jackknife somebody.
Yeah, Hogan can
whatever
rip his shirt off.
Did you see the picture of Hogan with a full beard where he looked like Zeus?
Yes.
How come his hairline seems so far forward in that picture?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you notice that?
Yes.
Where it was like, wait, what if the Hulkster got some hair plugs?
Maybe
the stem cell therapy in the scalp. Does that work?
I have no
If I could do that for cheap, if that's cheaper than electrolysis for whole head, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
So anything
Sounds
else?
like we're done.
Anything else in wrestling that...
I've not watched very much NXT, or not NXT, NWA.
Yeah,
I need to try to get caught up on that at some point.
Yeah, I haven't either. I did watch a thing with Billy Corgan saying how NWA is on the same level as WWE and AEW, and I'm like...
For talent?
I don't know where...
Because talent-wise, I could see making an argument that they have talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Naked Stevens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, they have, like, people who are really good.
Sure.
But, I don't know. I need to check out some of the...
It's Billy Corgan. Who knows, man?
All right. So we'll do the goose thing. Oh.
Ross's X-Men powers. Shorts out on everything.
Outro. When I worked pizza delivery, we had one of those doors where you had to punch in the key. And in the winter, like with their jackets, not touch metal and try to short out that thing every day. Like, that was my goal while working there, and it never happened.
You guys have a great week. Or not. Or do. Who cares?
No, don't.